Alright, welcome back everybody to Pikmin. Gonna continue along in the Forest Naval. We're gonna look for the blue Pikmin that I missed the first time around. Hopefully, get a move on that regard, because I do need the blue Pikmin to collect a number of different pieces. If I haven't already mentioned so, I don't remember mentioning this. But first time playing through this game, so not going to be nearly efficient enough in comparison to a lot of the other, if I had played through this as a child or whatever, I'm not going to be nearly as efficient. Pull this guy out here as soon as he plops. This is a Pikmin, yet another color near one's cheeks appears to be a set of gills. Traits suggest to me that this blue type of Pikmin can enter the water without any trouble. Without any trouble whatsoever. There's only one way to find out. He's standing in water. Yeah, I should definitely hit these other ones so that we can speed up this process a little bit, maybe. Also, slowly but surely learning how to control my Pikmin, so they'll do what I want them to do, without me having to throw them. I also didn't know this little fruit basket steals my shit. We're just gonna have to let him steal the one that I just pulled up. It's okay, because we'll end up pulling up these Pikmin and these other Pikmin anyways, so we can get the 5. So I'm falling a little bit behind in my recordings recently because I've been feeling kind of bluesy woozy, despite the fact that it's summertime and I don't usually get bluesy during the summer. But for some reason, I know what the reason is. The reason is it's because I'm feeling lonely again. It's fine. I need to find myself a partner in crime so that I can spend less time in my head and more time in the company of other people. But what sort of snapped me out of that little bit of a blue feeling was, this is gonna seem weird, I know. Was that I was leaving my house this morning. I saw a little not really a baby bird per se. Like, I guess the best way to explain it would be like a teenage bird. Bird that is big enough that it's been kicked out of the nest, but was having trouble flying. And my first thought, I'm going to be honest with you guys, my first thought when I saw the bird was, well, I feel bad for you. I feel bad for the bird, because I empathize with, the creature, and I realized that if it doesn't learn to fly, it's going to die. It's going to likely be picked off by a cat or some other wild animal. At the same time, she's trying its best to fly. So I don't know if it's got a defect, like a hurt wing, or if it's practicing flying, or what exactly the story is, but very much had that feeling at that point of it was sort of like a, well, you're not a fledgling anymore. You're a big bird, time for you to grow up, you know, and either fly or die. You know, which is sort of counter to what I was originally initially thinking when I was empathizing with the bird in terms of not being able to fly and feeling bad for it. You know, like, oh, that's bad. But at the same time, I had sort of this fly or die moment in my brain, which, you know, introspective as I am, immediately I apply it to myself going, you know, well, feeling bad because you don't have a girlfriend, you know, do it or don't, you know, do or die. You know, either go out and get yourself a girlfriend, fucking die. You know, shut the fuck up about. So that was sort of my thinking this morning, and oddly enough, it gave me the kind of positive energy that I was lacking the last couple days. Even the last couple episodes that I've recorded, I've just really had nothing to say and nothing to really contribute to, you know, the gameplay here at all. Other than, you know, I'm sort of a noob at this and I don't really understand certain concepts, you know, that I need to understand to be better at this game. Because there's that little bug that's running around, and we're not attacking him. He's not attacking us. He's not an enemy, but he does take the little flower number thingies that come down off the flowers. So I'm wondering if he's hiding a part inside of him, as an example. He probably is, because it seems like anything that is not a reoccurring enemy is a likely, you know, somebody's got a part that's hiding inside of him, and I need to get that out of him. I'm also starting to feel something that, unless you played this game when it was relatively new or prior to all the Let's Plays that came out, I don't think we can truly understand the fact that I'm on day 7 and I'm already feeling the anxiety, knowing that I have to collect somewhere in the ballpark of 30 more parts if I'm to lift off. Now, Olimar has mentioned, or he will mention, because I have played up to day 10 before, that not all the parts of the 30 parts are necessary for lift off. But I'll have, excuse me, I'll have 30 days to try and collect all of the necessary and unnecessary parts. And then on day 30, or once I collect the 30th part, the game will end. So I'm guessing there's probably a built-in bad end state where you don't collect enough of the parts to lift off. But I don't really know what's all needed for liftoff. I don't know if I need to get at least 50% of the parts, or there are certain key parts that you have to have in order to lift off. And ultimately, like say you got 28 parts, right? But you're missing one of the key parts. Presumably, you wouldn't be able to lift off because you're missing one of the key components for his ship. Versus, you've collected 20. Let's just say 20. I don't know how many parts are necessary. Let's just say 25 or 20 parts. Say you only need 20 parts, okay? Of the 30. You get all of the important components, but you don't get the unimportant components. Let's say, like I said, you need 20 to lift off, but you can't. But there are 10 that are sort of extra, which, again, that seems like too many. It's probably less like, probably like 25-ish key parts that you have to have. Like this spring is probably a key part. But let's just say, for the sake of argument, you collect all 20 of the essential components to lift off, and you should be able to lift off, once you hit day 30. But like I said, it's one of those things where, you could have all but, say, 2 parts and fail, or you'd be missing a third of the parts and still pass, depending on what the game considers important or key. So, but I'm on day 7 right now, and I'm already starting to feel a little bit of the anxiety in regards to that, because if I was on, say, day 7 and I had 10 parts, I'd feel good about myself. But I'm pretty sure I'm on day 7 right now, and I only got about 7-8 parts, maybe less even. So I have to start making up some time here. So that means, like, on today, I gotta collect, minimum 1 part, maximum all of them, obviously, but try to get at least 2 every day, so that you stay ahead of schedule. In the case that you run into something you weren't expecting, like let's say like a boss, or I don't know, something like that, where you're expanding out the map and you're building, say, like, for instance, this is a wooden bridge I'm about to build. Spend the day building the wooden bridge, not getting any parts, and then you're set up for the following day to go in with a ton of Pikmin, to go in with everything ready, and waiting to go for you. And then at that point, you go from collecting 0 parts on, say, day 7 to collecting, say, 4 or 5 parts on day 8, which more than makes up for the loss of a day. Yeah. You grow tired sometimes of work, regular work, that is. I haven't taken a vacation in almost a year now, so I need to do that, but I don't really have anywhere to go. I'm not planning on going anywhere, is what I should say. Because now that my car's fully paid off, I'm, saving $300-400 extra per month. That's great. Use that for a, go away vacation. But then something in my house breaks down. Garbage disposal. And that sets me back $800, or so. Yep, running out of time now. There's a fucker too. Gotta collect my 16 missing Pikmins. Go find me some missing Pikmins. Still watching Bob's Burgers, by the way. I'm up to where the movie is. Watched the movie this past week. So I just have sort of following seasons after whatever. I think there's like 2 or 3 more seasons up to today's date that are out. So do that. But, Bob's Burgers is very enjoyable. But sometimes the episodes I like the most are the ones that seem to occur at the end of seasons, and they tend to be a little bit more thought put into them, and it wasn't super great, but we'll fix that in the next round. I think we'll go 50-50 red and yellow next turn. Take out the, excuse me, the, big boss-looking enemy. Those guys are dead. Day 7 since impact. Deep in the cave I discovered the forest. I encountered blue Pikmin. These blue fellows have something resembling gills on their cheeks, and they appear to be amphibious, surviving both water and land. Wonders of nature never cease to stun me, even in this alien land. But getting back to what I was saying about Bob's Burgers, some of the episodes I like the most, I think, have been the episodes where the characters are, I don't know if the right word is depressed. They're not, certainly not depressed, but they're questioning, you know, who they are as a character. Bob often has, particularly towards the end of seasons, he has these things where he's sort of like doing the whole belly button looking thing, where he's very concerned about, you know, is what he's doing as a burger chef, is that really, like, does that benefit anyone? You know, you know, the family has a sort of a joke or a bit of losers. You know, they're all either weird or whatever the word you want to use is, different. And Bob, you know, he often feels like because not a lot of people eat at his restaurant and they're sort of living, you know, month to month, you know, on their expenses, that ultimately, you know, one day there's gonna, and this is the fear anyways, that one day they're not gonna make enough money to pay their bills and their entire business is gonna go belly up. And that was the end of the season prior to the movie, where they needed to make or no, I'm sorry, that's the point of the movie. In the movie, what happens is Bob and them need to make enough money to pay for the loan on their equipment. So they owe the bank money for a loan that they took out on their you know, they're like their grill and other, let's just say, fryer. And essentially they're running late already on the bill payment, and they wanted to go at the beginning of the movie to try to get a extension on paying the bill. And what ends up happening is that the bank says, no, I'm not going to do that. And then the following thing that happens right after that, which is sort of the hook. I found my gravity jumper. Manipulating the forces of gravity, this key component gives me the final boost I need to make the jump to super light speed. Good thing I found it. So the thing that sort of the hook here is that there's a water main break in front of their business. So they've got to the end of the week to pay off this loan, or to make a payment on this loan, I guess I should say. And there's a water main break that's preventing people from accessing the very front of their store. So, like the first 2 days after this water main break, they have no customers whatsoever, zero. So they make $0 and 0 cents all day. So now they're 2 days in the hole. They've got 3 more, and they got until Friday to make the payment. So while that's all going on, Louise is having this sort of belly button looking thing where she, you know, feels kind of weird because she still wears these pink bunny ears. And she thinks that the only reason she wears them is because her parents gave it to her when she was feeling afraid of going to preschool. So it's like I'm not actually brave, but I'm pretending to be brave because of these ears. And without these ears, which I'm being made fun of for being a, you know, a baby who wears ears, you know, I'm nothing. You know, I'm just a coward, essentially. But like I said, that sort of stuff kind of works for me because, you know, again, like I said, I was feeling a little down on myself, so maybe that was feeding a little bit into this, you know, bluesy feeling I was having. But more than anything, it sort of challenges the character, you know what I mean? It gives the character a bit of a, you know, hey, you know, this character is a scamp but has a good heart at the, you know, the bottom of it, you know, but, you know, can be a little bit of an asshole at the same time. Or, you know, Bob can be sort of like anti, you know, like sort of a realist or a pessimist, if you will. And you can have character development, you can have character growth within, you know, a television show. And I understand, you know, the thing that makes a lot of characters interesting is that they either have one of a number of things. They either are learning and growing, which makes them likable because they're making progress to a larger goal and people can relate with that. Or they have character flaws that are funny, you know, you could sort of laugh at because I have those same flaws. Or isn't it weird that person is, you know, kind of weird but proud of who they are, you know. And at the end of all this, you know, we want those characters to always sort of be who they are. You know, you want to wake up and SpongeBob always still has his job as a fry cook at the Krusty Krab. And Mr. Krabs is a penny pincher, and Squidward is for lack of a better word, a failure who thinks that he is God's gift to the world. And, you know, that's sort of what makes those characters funny, because that's sort of the character that we've come to know and love. I really respect when a television show is willing to let their characters grow and mature and, you know, hopefully ultimately come to a better place than they were when they started. You know, and then ultimately I understand, you know, you don't, particularly when you're doing a television show, you don't do that. They don't make progress because at any given point you get renewed for another season. You want to keep the through line going. You know, you don't want to be like, oh, well, I wrote myself into a corner. Now all of that character development I gotta back off of. What I should do here is I should be throwing guys to beat up his bum. Because I did not realize at the time that when he flips over, he can do this. And that will turn your Pikmin into not your Pikmin, and they'll punch you in the face. It's not cool. So we're going to avoid that attack, though he's almost dead anyways. Alright, there's a piece of the ship. That's... And the Mega Stabilizer. I absolutely must have this piece if my battleship is ever to fly straight again. Steers me through the countless deep space storms and it looks rather cool. I'm about to learn another very important lesson. Fire does not affect red Pikmin, but it does affect blue and yellow Pikmin. So I'm about to kind of get fucked here. All my Pikmin getting eaten up by the fire. Fuck you. I go heal my Olimar now. So as you can see, that produced a ton of red Pikmin seeds there. I was hoping to try and grab that, turn that into blue Pikmin instead. That's okay though. I can live with red Pikmin. One of the things I haven't mentioned yet is I'm sort of weirded out by Olimar and these Pikmin. Like, okay, so Olimar's trying to get home. His home planet, and like these little Pikmin are like, they're like little slaves to him. They basically do whatever Olimar tells them to do, and you know, I guess ultimately they're learning how to work as a group and get bigger and better as a combined collective, if you will. However, that being said, I keep getting this feeling like I'm Master Olimar. Oh no, my Olimar, I never think, no, not thinking about nothing like that. I get that feeling every so often. Nope, just try to take care of Master Olimar's plantation. We're out here in the field singing our gay slave songs. or whatever. I'm kind of old enough to remember when things like the Song of the South were on television, but I'm not actually old enough to remember them well. Like, not well as in I have fond memories of it, but like I remember maybe seeing like clips of it, like clips from the Song of from the South in like Disney sing-along VHSs, but not really like actually seeing the Song of the South in a theater or something like that. I need to gather my Pikmin here, buddy. Good enough.